Here's a question that might genuinely disturb you. If a fire broke out in this room right now, what are the odds you'd actually do something useful? Because science says there's a real chance you'd just stand there. That's not a character flaw. That's not cowardice. That is your brain, a 3-pound organ that evolved over millions of years, doing exactly what it was built to do. And the cruel irony? The very system designed to save your life is often the one that gets you killed. Today we're going to break down the neuroscience of why humans freeze under extreme stress, and more importantly, 3 research-backed techniques to override that response when it matters most. This isn't motivational fluff. This is biology. And once you understand why your brain does this, the fixes become obvious. Let's start with the architecture. Your brain isn't one thing. It's a stack, layers built on top of each other through evolution. At the base, you have the brainstem, breathing, heartbeat, basic survival. On top of that, the limbic system, your emotional core, and wrapped around everything, the prefrontal cortex, the part doing the thinking right now. Here's the problem. Those 3 systems do not have equal priority. Deep inside your limbic system sits a small, almond-shaped cluster of neurons called the amygdala. Think of it as your brain's smoke detector. It's always scanning for threats. It works fast, dangerously fast. When you perceive danger, your amygdala fires a distress signal before your conscious mind has even registered what's happening. That signal triggers your hypothalamus, which floods your body with adrenaline and cortisol, the stress hormone. Adrenaline spikes your heart rate, redirects blood to your muscles, dilates your pupils. Your body is preparing to fight or run. That part you've heard of. What most people don't know is what cortisol does to your thinking. Cortisol, in sustained or high doses, actively impairs the prefrontal cortex, the rational planning, decision-making part of your brain. It's not a metaphor. It's a measurable reduction in blood flow and neural activity in the region responsible for clear thought. This is called an amygdala hijack, a term coined by psychologist Daniel Goleman. Your emotional brain has literally taken the wheel from your rational brain. And that's where it gets interesting. Most people know fight or flight. But there are actually 3 possible responses, and the third is the most dangerous fight. You engage the threat flight. You run freeze. Freezing isn't weakness. It's an ancient survival strategy, one that works brilliantly if you're prey hiding from a predator that hunts by movement. Stay still, stay silent, maybe it passes. The problem is, most modern threats don't work that way. A house fire doesn't care if you're still. A car accident scene doesn't pass you by. Freezing in those moments doesn't protect you. It paralyzes you at exactly the moment you need to act. And here's what makes it worse. Your brain can't tell the difference between a tiger and a heated argument. Cortisol doesn't distinguish between emotional threats and physical ones. A bad presentation, a near-miss car accident, getting mugged, they all hit the same system with roughly the same chemical response. So now you understand the problem. Your brain is fast, blunt, and built for a world that no longer exists. Let's talk about how to override it. Here's why telling yourself to calm down doesn't work, and we'll get back to this. But here's why breathing does. Your autonomic nervous system runs 2 opposing modes. Sympathetic, fight or flight, activated by the amygdala hijack, and parasympathetic, rest and recover. Normally, you can't consciously control this system. You can't think your heart into slowing down, but your breath is the one autonomic function you can manually override. And because breathing is directly linked to your heart rate via something called the vagus nerve, slow, controlled breathing is essentially a backdoor into your own nervous system. The protocol used by Navy SEALs, ER surgeons, and first responders is called box breathing, or tactical breathing. 4 seconds in through the nose. Hold 4 seconds. 4 seconds out through the mouth. Hold 4 seconds. Repeat that 4 cycles. Studies show this measurably reduces cortisol, slows heart rate, and, critically, restores blood flow to the prefrontal cortex. You're not just calming down, you're chemically restoring your ability to think. Here's the second problem with panic. Your attention collapses inward. When the amygdala fires, your brain starts looping on the threat. Worst-case scenarios, overwhelming what-ifs, catastrophic projections. Your working memory gets saturated. You can't think because you can't stop feeling. The anchor technique exploits something neuroscientists call attentional redirection. And it works because your brain, under load, cannot fully process 2 sensory streams at once. Here's the technique. Pick a physical sensation, something external and concrete. The feeling of your feet on the ground, the texture of a wall under your fingers, the weight of keys in your hand. Now focus on that with deliberate attention. Describe it mentally. Is it warm, rough? What's the pressure like? This sounds almost insultingly simple. But what it's doing is forcing your prefrontal cortex back online by giving it a task, sensory processing, while simultaneously interrupting the cortisol-fueled thought loop. In clinical settings, this is related to grounding techniques used in trauma therapy. In survival settings, it buys you the 15-30 seconds you need to start functioning again. Now you've bought yourself some cognitive clarity. Here's how you use it. One of the most well-documented failure modes in emergencies is decision paralysis. The feeling that you have to figure out everything right now, the full plan, the perfect exit, the optimal response. Your overwhelmed brain looks at the entire problem, can't process it, and does nothing. The solution is micro-decisions, breaking the action chain into the smallest possible next step. Not, how do I survive this? Just, do I move left or right? Not, how do I get everyone out of the building? Just, can I stand up? The neuroscience here is straightforward. Small binary decisions are processed much faster and with far less cognitive load than complex ones. Each completed micro-decision also triggers a small dopamine release, which counteracts the cortisol spiral and builds action momentum. This is why military training doesn't teach soldiers what to do in every situation. It drills them on making fast, small decisions under stress until those decisions become automatic. You're not trying to win. You're trying to take one step, then the next. Let's be real about the most common advice people give in emergencies. Just calm down, stay positive, don't panic. Here's the problem. All three of those are cortical instructions. They require the prefrontal cortex to execute. The same prefrontal cortex that has been taken offline by your amygdala. It's like asking a car to park itself after you've removed the steering wheel. Stay positive requires abstract thinking. Don't panic requires meta-awareness of your emotional state. These are high-level cognitive tasks. They require the exact brain region that cortisol has suppressed. The three techniques we covered work precisely because they bypass cortical commands. Breathing uses the vagus nerve. The anchor technique uses sensory input. Micro-decisions use the brain's action circuitry. Structures deeper than the prefrontal cortex. They don't require you to think clearly. They give you the ability to think clearly. That's the difference, and it's the whole game. Your brain isn't your enemy. It's a system built for a world that required different survival strategies, and it's doing exactly what it was designed to do. But you're not a deer in the grass, and you now know what your brain is doing and how to talk back to it. Tactical breathing. The anchor technique. Micro-decisions. 3 tools. All of them built on actual neuroscience. All of them trainable. If you want to go deeper, the next video breaks down how trained soldiers and emergency responders practice these techniques until they become automatic, and how you can do the same without any special gear. Link is on screen now. Go watch it.